Hey, what's up everyone? It's Dr. Glenn Vo. I am super excited to be here at the CDA. We're shooting this live with one of the dentists. I mean, this is like one of my role models, someone that I look up to. Not only a good dentist, not only an amazing entrepreneur, but just even better person. Dr. Don Tan, founder of LumaDent. Dr. Tan, how are you?
Very good. Nice to have you here.
I'm excited to be here because I always learn so much whenever I have you on the show. But the biggest thing that I want people to understand is, look, as LumaDent is a big company, right? It's a big company. You see them everywhere, but at the end of the day, they are still a small business. Dr. Tan, I mean, is there a bunch of new owners now, or who's the owner of LumaDent still?
Right. So LumaDent was started in 2009.
Yeah. Wow.
It has been for 15 years now, right? I'm still the owner here.
And it's still, I mean, literally it's still like a small business. I mean, you still run it and you're still, now, again, we see the LumaDents everywhere. When we had Katrina Klein here earlier, who's like the expert on ergonomics, she loves LumaDent. There's so many people that love LumaDent. But at the end of the day, you're not just sitting in some room, some office, and not sitting there. You're very still hands-on when it comes to the company.
Well, that's a fun part of it.
Yeah.
To being hands-on. You have to work. You got to work with product that bring, the benefit to our customer, our dental professional. That's the fun part of it.
Yeah.
You cannot get that away and be in the office and just pointing finger to do something. No, you have to get involved.
Now, when you say get involved, I gotta let you guys know, I mean, there's levels of involvement when someone, like when the founder and the CEO of a company is involved, right? What separates Dr. Tom from everyone else is not only from like the marketing side, from the business side, but we're talking about the actual design of the light itself.
Yes.
I mean, I remember like a story you told me on a previous podcast. I mean, you were the first version of the LumaDent light. You got some parts from like what? Is it Lowe's or Home Depot? Which one of those?
It's Lowe's. It costs
right?
City, Nevada. Yes.
Yeah, and you just kind of put that together, but literally just you started that because you saw the need. You saw the need. Number one, you saw the need very early before everyone that you can't diagnose, you can't treat patients unless you see, right? You need the light.
Right.
Then you went on to something else. You noticed that as we start practicing, gets really hard on our bodies. I mean, that's why you brought on like an expert like Katrina Klein, right? You talk about ergonomics, right? But then you recognized that, and then you kind of changed the design of the loops themselves. Something like that, always moving. Is that something that is very important to you, always innovating? Because, I mean, honestly, you could stop innovating. I mean, I think you're doing pretty good. You don't have to do anything else. But why is that so important to you?
Yeah. So what's important for me is to allow our professional to work in ergonomic way to be very healthy. At the end of the day, what's important for you? You spend 8 hours in the office. You go back to you drive back to home, and you want to be spending a very good quality time with your family. And what you do? You're in pain.
Yeah.
And you go home instead of having a happy time with your family. What you do? You're complaining.
Yeah.
So that's not good. So that's the journey where we start from traditional loops here, just the same one we have here. Everybody start out with this type of loops. And we move up to a higher magnification, right? And then we move up to a higher magnification, but at the same time, we're still looking down.
Yeah.
We bend our neck all the time, looking down onto the patient. We cannot do that anymore. 2019, we come up with this ergonomic loops. 2019. When we come out, you don't have to look down no more. You look straight out.
Yeah.
The optic inside this will bend the image for you so that you don't have to look down anymore.
Now, let me ask you this. I mean, obviously, this is something that Katrina has talked about many times about how it's really changed the way she practiced. How often do you get dentists coming up to you and dental hygienists and just dental professionals saying, Dr. Tan, I love these. I mean, this really changed the way I practice. How often do you get that?
All the time.
All the time.
We are in CDA Anaheim here, and we have a booth here, and people will come up and, hey, where's Don? Where you got the guy Don? I'm here. Give me a hug. Yes, that's how much. That's the satisfaction part of being hands-on, designing a product, and the feedback from a customer giving back to us is tremendous. It's tremendous.
Well, so, something that you just demonstrated right here, a lot of times people think, okay, well, I just got some starter loops, I'm a dental student, or maybe I'm just new to just wearing loops and working with magnification. Sometimes they think, well, okay, well, I'll get it here, and then as I progress in my career, I have to go somewhere else. But I think you just demonstrated here, no matter where you are in your career,
Right.
there's a solution here in LumaDent.
Of course, yes.
And
what we
again, for like an older guy like me who probably needs to work a little bit more ergonomics, there's also a solution there. Now, let's say that someone's looking for something ergonomic, but they still need the high magnification. You got something for that?
Right. So, for the customer we have customers that say, I have Zeit loops, I have design fortune loops, we have 4.5, we have 5.0 already. I cannot go down in magnification, but I need to be in ergonomic.
Yes.
Well, we had that question all the time. So we say, what can we do here? So we came up with the one we call Ergomax.
Wow.
So Ergomax.
Now can I hold this? Because again, first view of it, right? I mean, obviously it's like, wow, cool design, but it looks like it's really heavy. But when I'm holding it, it's actually not that heavy. It's actually not that heavy there.
So Ergomax allow us to have a very high magnification, yet we need to keep the field of view at a decent amount, good field of view, so that we can see not only 1 or 2 teeth, we need to see 4 or 5 teeth. So that number one, we don't make mistake.
Oh, yeah, that's the big part.
We don't make mistake. Right. Number two, we're able to align ourselves to see exactly where we work, tool-wise. So this is the one, Ergomax, allow us to have high magnification with high, very big field of view.
And also, of course, with the ergonomics, right? Like, the longer you practice, right, you have these needs. But honestly, I mean, for the younger docs out there, I mean, the faster you adopt something like this, it's going to be better for you. It's going to actually prolong your career there. Now we talked really briefly about the light because, LumaDent, right? LumaDent, right? And then we jumped to loops. But now let's go back to the light. I mean, again, you have the actual magnification. You have the light because you need to be able to see. It's really important. But look, Dr. Tan is not trying to make some extra bucks off of everybody, right? Like, he's not trying to come up with all these products just to make some extra money, right? He sees problems and he's providing solutions. And we talked about the light here. We talked about light here, and you were saying, like, I asked you, I was like, well, did they need to buy a new light? And you're like, actually, no. It's easy. Can you explain that?
Right. So let me explain a little bit more about the light. So the light comes with typically of 2 parts: headlamp, the light bulb, and the battery part.
Yes.
Right. So typically that's all of the light. If we remove the wire, then we have a wireless light. We have airlux. Right. If we have a shock wire, then we call a hybrid. We call a unilux or wavelux. But the battery portion of it is the same.
Yeah.
It's the same. What make it better is the innovation in terms of the light. The LED, the optical module that put the light all together. So we at CDA we reviewed the 360 Pro to replace our HL360. We have the HL360 about 6-7 years now. Now we released the 360 Pro. So 360 Pro will double the brightness that you have with existing LumaDent light.
Now,
period.
I mean, so the big question out there is, obviously if you already have a LumaDent light and you do want to get upgraded, I mean, do they have to buy the whole thing again?
That's an option, but you don't have to buy the whole thing again.
Wow, okay. Right? So you can just get this light source itself.
Correct.
You don't have to get another battery.
You don't need, like I said, the battery remains the same. It gives the power, but what makes the performance better is the LED and the optic module that collimate the beam together. So that's what we come up with this.
I mean, whenever I hear that, I was like, okay, as a dentist, I'm thinking, wow, that's great.
Yeah.
From a business man, I'm just wondering, man, Dr. Tonga probably sell some extra battery packs, like if he wanted to, right? But again, it's all about, providing a solution and being ethical about that. That's the reason why this booth is always busy, the reason why so many people come back. And again, based on all the products here, you don't want to be the solution for just one part of someone's career. your goal is to be the solution throughout the whole career as well.
Right.
So, all right, Dr. Tan, before we wrap up, you know what happens when you come on this show. You know what happens. That is, well, everyone's going to wonder, is there a Nifty deal? Is
Yes.
there a Nifty deal?
Yes,
So for
yes,
those
yes.
for those of our followers, those who are watching right now, they're like, okay, I like LumaDent. I actually it's time for me to upgrade to another level, or maybe just start adopting lubes or lights. What's the Nifty deal? Dr. Tan, can you share with us?
Yeah, so we have a Nifty deal with Dr. Glenn Vo here. Believe we have discount when you go to the website. There will be a discount.
And
there.
we have a special website just for the Nifty members.
Right. Yeah.
And there's a discount right there. Well, Dr. Tan, thank you so much again for sharing your time. I want to let everyone know he's a busy guy, but you know what? He's never too busy. Whenever I tag him in a post, he always comes on. I mean, literally, people ask him all sorts of questions about the design. He lays it out there. So he's a busy guy, but he's always got time for the Nifty community. Dr. Tan, thank you so much for everything you do in dentistry, and thanks for the Nifty deal.
All right.
All right,
Thank you very
guys.
much.
We'll see y'all later.
All right. Thank you.